India, a country with over 1.2 billion people, 28 states, 7 union territories, 22 languages, over half a dozen religions, is the most diverse country in the world, yet one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Food. Indian food, like Indians, is very diverse and has over 35 various cuisines. The Indian food sector was estimated to be 10,362 billion rupees in the year 2009-10 and is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 8.1% in the next 5 years. But with reducing water resources, increasing input cost, will it be possible to meet the growth of Indian food and nutrition demand? Yes. With growing food needs of the country, we need millets like sorghum, also known as jawar, which are drought resistant, to improve the nutrition cycle, which can be grown in most of the semi-arid regions. It's a myth that jawar, sorghum, can be used only to make rotis. With modern processing interventions developed by Directorate of Sorghum Research, Hyderabad, it is now possible to prepare good quality of processed products like dehulled sorghum, semolina or suji, flakes, extruded products, vermicelli and pasta, biscuits, sorghum-rich multi-grain roti and flour to improve the nutritional quality as well as the consumer acceptability of sorghum. Now let's see the various processing interventions to make all these products. Primary processing. Destoning and grading. This process involves removing stones and clods from sorghum. This is achieved with the help of destoner and grader machine. Process. The grains are poured into the grain hopper. Then the grains enter the pneumatic aspirator where they are separated from unwanted particles. These unwanted light particles are sent into an outlet chamber which can be controlled by a valve. The grains in the pneumatic aspirator are then passed along various sieves where the light and heavy particles are separated. Then the grains are sent to the next sieve where they are separated from the stones and the remaining clean grain is dropped into the third sieve. Here the grains are cleaned further by passing air and oscillating the chamber. After the grains are cleaned, they are sent onto the grader. In the grader, the grains are separated as per the required size by adjusting the sieves. These grains are collected from 2 different outlets. Now, we have clean and graded sorghum grains ready. Dehuller. Dehuller is used to remove the coarse outer layer of sorghum grain up to 10%. Especially in naked crops like sorghum, dehulling is a most important process as the grains are directly exposed to the atmosphere in the fields. The dehuller unit consists of grain hopper, abrasive stones, inspection door, discharge door and husk outlet. The grain is dropped into the grain hopper, after which it enters the dehulled chamber, where the abrasive stones dehull the grains. The dehulled husk is sent out into the husk outlet. Through the inspection door, the grain can be checked for dehulling quality. Once the grains are dehulled, they are released from discharge door, which is situated at the bottom of the machine. Now the sorghum grain is dehulled. The breakage is nominal during dehulling. This unit dehulls 10 to 15 kgs grain per batch in 20 minutes. Now the primary processing of sorghum grains is completed. Unlike the primary processing, the secondary processing is performed as per the product. Pulverizer. Pulverizer is used to make fine flour or rava from the sorghum grains. Here, the dehulled grains are finely ground with the help of hammers or blades. The grains are poured into the grain hopper, which then fall into the grinding chamber. Conventional hammer mills have rotating blades, which grind the grain in a grinding chamber and pass it through a screen which separates the flour from the larger, ungrounded particles. As the blade rotates, the flour is carried through the screen by the airflow through the mill. Larger grain particles remain inside the chamber. The freshly ground flour then is collected from the outlet. The grinding levels can be controlled with the help of a valve, and products like medium semolina, coarse semolina and fine flour can be produced. Swifting. Pour the required product such as flour or semolina rava onto the swifter. A swifter separates wanted elements from unwanted material using a woven screen such as a mesh or net used as a sweep. A vibratory swifter is an automated swifter where it oscillates automatically to perform the swifting. Ensure you have fitted the correct size of the sieves to collect the sifted product from the outlet. Extruding is a process where the sorghum semolina is made to take shapes as per molds to prepare vermicelli, pasta or such products. In preparation of macaroni products, vermicelli and pasta, the sorghum semolina and wheat is made into a stiff dough using 25 to 30% of water on semolina weight at 32 degrees centigrade to 38 degrees centigrade. The dough is then extruded at high pressure through appropriate dies to make tubes or strap-shaped products. Heavy pressure ensures that the product is translucent and free from air bubbles. Finally, the product is dried at controlled temperatures and humidity. Flaking. Sorghum grains are cleaned and soaked in water overnight to get moisture content of 25 to 30%. After that, they are dried and roasted at 190 degrees centigrade to 200 degrees centigrade slightly, so as to remove extra moisture and to achieve full gelatinization of starch. Roasting also makes the grain plastic in texture to ensure easy flaking. Then the roasted grains are passed separately in edge runner machine to get flakes. Adjust the roller clearness to get a flake of desirable thickness. Then the flakes are collected and sieved so as to remove any excess powder on them. Then the flakes are dried to knead prior to packing. Biscuit making. Mix flour, baking powder and salt and sieve it. Cream, fat and sugar in planetary mixer for 30 minutes. Add a little water and mix well. Add the flour and mix for 5 minutes. Place the dough in a cookie cutter to cut into shape and bake it in an oven at 150 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes. Allow the biscuits to cool and pack it. Sorghum pops. You can use a regular popping or popcorn making machine to pop them. The dehulled sorghum grains are poured into the machine along with some oil and flavor according to the taste, and then allow them to pop until the pop sound can be heard. The sorghum grains are popped. By introducing sorghum foods like vermicelli, pasta, rava, multigrain atta, pops, we are sure they will find way for a healthy and nutritious nation. Eat jawar and stay healthy.